video that I'm about to record for you guys is a very special video. It's a video meant to prepare you guys for the upcoming bull run. I think that Bitcoin, Ethereum, altcoins and maybe even the stock market as well are up for a major run over the upcoming months. And the issue that most people have is that they have no plan. They don't know where to take profit, they don't know when to de-risk, and even though everyone that is currently positioned in the market will have major gains over the upcoming months, there's only about 1 or 2% that are able to preserve those gains and to keep those gains and not lose it all. Today's video is meant for me to teach you guys my strategy for the upcoming months, how I'm going to milk this market and how I'm going to make sure that at the end of the bull run I'm going to take profit at the top instead of wasting all of my profits in the months after. The first issue that most people have is that they have no clue how to set realistic take profit target. And guys, the word that I just used, realistic take profit target, is a word that doesn't sound very attractive to a lot of people, right? Because most people that especially are positioning themselves in the crypto space for the upcoming bull run, they are targeting 10x only, 20x only. There's even some people that are only targeting 100x's on their altcoin backs. And guys, let me help you guys punish this dream, because it's not going to happen. Yes, there will be a few altcoins that are going to do a 10x. Yes, there will be a few altcoins that maybe even will do 100x. But if you truly want to make generational wealth in the upcoming bull run, or maybe in the upcoming 10 or 20 years, you should not be focusing on making a 10x on your altcoin investment. You should not be focusing on making a 10x on your stock investment, or maybe on an Ethereum investment or a Bitcoin investment. You should be able, by analyzing the chart and by making a fundamental analysis, to set realistic take profit targets and also have a plan ready where you are going to take profit and how much profit you are going to take. Now, a way that you can use the chart in your advantage to set realistic take profit targets is in two different ways. A tool that I really like to use on the higher time frame, on the 3-day time frame, and to set targets in advance and simply set limit sell orders at those targets, is a trend-based Fibonacci extension tool. Now, you can use this tool on trending assets. So first of all, what you have to do obviously is to determine the trend. Let's take for example Bitcoin over here. If we are going to determine the trend, we can see that Bitcoin is continuously forming higher highs and higher lows. Now we can see that the last trend that Bitcoin formed was this impulse to the upside and afterwards this higher low. So to measure the target for the next impulsive move, which also aligns with my view on the current bull run, we are going to use a trend-based Fibonacci extension tool right over here. We are going to use the magnet. We are going to start at the beginning of the first impulse. We are going to click there. We are going to drag it towards the end of the first impulsive move. We are going to give it another click. And then we are going to pull it back towards the end of the corrective move. Now what we can see over here is several levels that are being provided onto the chart. And these are the levels that you would want to use. In my opinion, you can remove the 0.618 level. The levels that we can use to set potential targets for trending assets, in this case Bitcoin, but you can apply this onto altcoins as well, and I will show you guys in a little bit. We can set targets in advance. By using the tool over here, the trend-based Fibonacci extension tool, I can see that the 1-to-1 trend-based Fibonacci extension and the 1.618 are two very common targets for impulsive moves. So that means that if Bitcoin is going to reach $84,222, it is a time to take profit on your Bitcoin spot position. If Bitcoin is going to reach $105,000, it is time to take even more profit on your Bitcoin spot position. You don't have to close the entire position over here, guys. You can close partial positions over here. You can close another partial over here, and you can keep some more until the 2.618 and maybe even the 3.618. Now, these are very ambitious targets, but they're possible according to the trend-based Fibonacci extension tool, and maybe they're even possible according to your fundamental analysis as well. Before I'm going to give you guys another tool that you can use to take profit by not setting limit sell orders, but by market closing your position in the upcoming months. I will give you guys one more example of this trend-based Fibonacci extension tool. When we go to the Solana chart and we identify the trend, we can see that Solana formed a high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. So once again, we're going to start taking the trend-based Fibonacci extension tool, use the magnet, start at the beginning of the impulse, drag it towards the end of the impulse, give it a second click, pull it back towards the end of the corrective wave, give it another click over here. Once again, we are getting several levels to take profit on Solana by simply setting limit sell orders. Guys, from the current price towards the second take profit target is a 2x. Towards the third take profit target is almost a 3x. Towards the fourth take profit target is almost a 4x on Solana. Now these are very realistic take profit targets on Solana. Maybe you're using some of your money to invest into low cap coins, right? And by doing your fundamental analysis and comparing your investment to the competition, you believe that the altcoin back should at least do a 10x, maybe even a 20x. And I'm not saying that aiming for a 3x or a 4x is always the realistic target. There are circumstances where you can target a 10x, 50x, maybe even a 100x if you compare your investment by doing your fundamental analysis and analyzing several market caps of competitions, that you can target a 50x. But in my opinion, there's never a single individual that became broke by taking profits along the way. So it doesn't necessarily mean that by using this tool on different altcoins that you should always target a 3x, 4x, 5x from here. But it could be a good idea that if Solana, if you're for example targeting $1,000, if it is going to reach the 1.618 level over here, that at least you take some partial profits of maybe 10-15%. If Solana is then still going to reach your eventual target of $1,000, okay, you made amazing profit. But if your thesis is not correct based on your fundamental analysis and the charts are proven to be stronger and Solana is going to top out over here the 1.618 and is going to reverse to the downside, at least you have taken 10% partial profits. And that's the next step that I will explain to you guys in a little bit. We are going to utilize the stop loss to preserve our capital. But before we are going to talk about how we are going to utilize a stop loss to preserve our profits and our capital, I want to show you guys one more tool that you can use to not take limit partial profits, but to close your position with a market close because price action is showing us a potential reversal. In this case, we are going to use the RSI on a weekly time frame. And what we are going to find is potential bearish divergences on the weekly time frame for potential tops. What we can see in the past is that the previous bull cycle top over here, we were forming a bearish divergence on the weekly time frame. What we can see over here with the previous bear market bottom over here is that we were forming a weekly bullish divergence on the RSI right over here. And this is where we form the bear cycle bottom. Guys, we do not only see this on Bitcoin, but if you go to a lot of stocks and a lot of altcoins over the past decades, and you're going to use the RSI divergence on the weekly time frame, you can see that this is a very, very powerful tool to spot potential tops and potential bottoms. So use this in your advantage that whenever in the upcoming months we are going to form bearish divergences on the weekly time frame based on the RSI on Bitcoin or on altcoins, that you're going to use these divergences in our advantage, that even though people might get extremely bullish, whenever you see a weekly divergence on the RSI indicator on your favorite altcoin, you're going to make yourself a promise that you're going to take partial profits and that you're going to utilize your stop loss to preserve your capital and to preserve your profits. Which is bringing me to the next topic, the stop loss. And to help you guys understand how we are going to utilize the stop loss in our advantage, I'm going to use a bit of a naked chart. So let's say over the past couple of months and the past couple of years, you have been accumulating this position on Bitcoin within this downtrend, within this bear market, where we had this previous bear market bottom over here, and your average entry on Bitcoin eventually became somewhere around $40,000. Okay, so then we continue down some more over here. We had another crash. Your average position on your Bitcoin spot is $40,000. Now, at some point, the position is going to be in major profit over here. And let's say we are going to hit some partial profits, as we said, at $80,000 right over here. Now, how are we going to use this stop loss to preserve our capital, to preserve our profits? Because if we place our stop loss over here, at the previous bear market bottom, for example, we still will be in a major loss if price reverses and there's another bear market and then takes our stop loss over here, right? What we want to do is place our stop loss in profit so that if price starts another bear market, we get stopped out in profit. But if price is going to continue higher towards $150,000 for Bitcoin, for example, over here, we will still make major profits because we only closed part of our position over here and we didn't close our entire bag. We could afford to only close partial position because we have moved our stop loss into profit. Now the issue here is that people don't know where to move their stop loss towards. They will simply pick a random low or a random high, as always, to cover their stop loss. But what we want to do is analyze the price section and the liquidity and analyze the chart in a simple manner as if it was a 1 hour chart, and based on that analysis, once price action gives us new confirmations for a new invalidation for our bullish thesis, that's the kind of low that we want to use to cover our stop loss. So for example, currently on Bitcoin, what we can see is that we have several lows. Right over here we can see that we have several lows right over here along the way up. What low are we going to use to cover our stop loss? If our average position, for example, as I said, was accumulated at around $30,000 and we took some partial profits over here, for example. Now we want to move our stop loss into profit to preserve our profits and to preserve our capital. In my opinion, when we simply analyze the structure over here on Bitcoin, the only clean invalidation for now that I can see is the invalidation based off this price section, which means that this low is a true invalidation for our bullish thesis. Okay, because over here we see a clean sweep of the high resulting into a clean sweep of the low, and then over here we get a valid break of structure. So the low that initiated that impulse, that gave us that valid break of structure, is the kind of low that we want to use to cover our stop loss. So for now, this is the low where you want to move your stop loss towards. All of these lows can easily still get taken out, and then we can reverse, and then we form a new invalidation over here. In that case, we move our stop loss to the low over here instead of the low over here. Okay, but you can only move your stop loss into profit on your spot position if price action and liquidity are providing you with a clean invalidation. As long as price action and liquidity don't give us a new confirmation and a new invalidation, we simply cannot move our stop loss into profit and we keep it at the original place. If you don't use a stop loss for your spot investment because you have long-term belief and long-term potential for that investment, if that investment is going to be in major profit and you still don't want to take profit because you believe it's going higher, guys, please promise me that at some point you're going to have a look at the chart without letting your bias influence your decision making, and you're going to move your stop loss into profit. If it gets hit, it gets hit, guys. There's going to be so many more bear markets. There's going to be so many more bull markets. If you make profit, make sure to take profit, to preserve the profit, to work on your cash flow, because there's gonna be so many more cycles where we can make so much more money. And the only thing that kills people and that kills financial freedom, in my opinion, is the fact that people are just so fucking greedy. And I can tell you guys from experience, and I think many people that have been here the previous bull cycles can tell you from their experience, whenever your position is in major profit, you need to take those profits, lock them in, and go to bed and relax. If the price is going to continue higher, you're going to make even more profits. But my plan is to aim for several 3 to 4 to 5x's from here in most altcoins. Yes, some altcoins I'm targeting 10x's, 20x's. But as soon as I'm in major profit in the upcoming months, I'm going to move my stop loss into profit, because I know that if I 3-4x my bag from here, and I play one more bear cycle, or maybe 2 more bear cycles, with the knowledge that I have now, I'm going to be creating generational wealth. Truly, I am. And that's my long-term game. I don't have to create generational wealth in this bull cycle. I can create wealth for the upcoming 5, 6, 7 years, and I will be satisfied with that. But I have a long-term game plan. So if I see profits, and if positions and altcoins are going to reach my target, I'm going to be fucking closing my positions there and be satisfied with it. If my target from here on an altcoin is 5x and I promise myself to close 75% there, I will be closing 75% there. If it is going to continue higher towards 20x, 50x, 100x, I truly don't fucking care. Because I made myself a promise, I created a plan for myself, and I will stick to that no matter what. And I think that's the most important lesson of this video. There are several tools that we can use, but if you're not a man of your word, and if you can't keep promises to yourself, and if you can't stick to the plan that you have to make for the upcoming bull run, you're not even worthy of becoming financially free, in my opinion. Okay? So really get that into your brain. Really realize that the crypto markets and just the game of trading and investing is truly one of a kind. And yes, it can offer you major financial freedom and you can work from anywhere you want, but only if you have a clear set of rules, a clear plan, and if you stick to it.